Welcome back to the TankSpot Crusaders Coliseum Raid Guide. This is T-Tox, and this video will go over strategy for Lord Jaraxxus, the second boss in the Crusaders Coliseum. If you'd like more information, or would like to learn more about downloading this movie, click more info on the movie information box on YouTube to head directly to TankSpot. Also, be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button on the right so you'll automatically be notified as we release movies. Lord Jaraxxus is a controlled DPS burn. DPS on Jaraxxus is secondary to proper DPS on the adds, and you'll want to control the Legion Inferno so you don't have fire everywhere. Healing also becomes extremely important on this fight, as you need to get the Incinerate Flesh debuff off before that person blows up the raid. The raid composition we used had 2 tanks, one on Jaraxxus and one for his adds, and 5 healers. There is a lot of fire damage going around on this fight. A fire resistance aura or totem is very useful here. When you start the encounter, you want to tank him in the middle of the room and keep the raid spread out at least 10 yards apart, so you don't spread Fell Lightning. Fell Lightning works exactly like Chain Lightning, however, the damage doesn't change each time it jumps, and it will affect a maximum of 5 targets. Focus on Jaraxxus at first, and assign people to interrupt his Fell Fireball. Fell Fireball will be cast on the tank at regular intervals, and it will do about 22 to 23k damage up front, and it will tick for over 8,000 damage per second. This can be dispelled. He will also randomly target a player with Legion Flames. Legion Flames is a debuff that deals about 4,000 damage per second and will leave a fire at your feet. There are 2 ways to deal with this. You can either stand in one spot and either be healed through it and keep the fire one spot, or those that are affected by it can run to the outside of the room. For a few seconds, they will leave a trail of fire behind. This fire will also deal about 4,000 damage per second for those that stand in it. The other random ability that Jaraxxus will use is Incinerate Flesh. Incinerate Flesh is cast on a random target and absorbs the next 70,000 healing that you receive and reduces the damage you deal by 50%. If you don't receive 70,000 healing in the next 15 seconds, you will explode and will deal over 3,000 damage per second for 5 seconds to all friendly targets. Jaraxxus also gains a buff called Nether Power. It increases the magic damage he deals by 20%. This buff can be spell stolen by mages and should be done whenever possible to minimize Fell Lightning and Fell Fireball damage. Throughout the encounter, he'll spawn 2 types of adds. The first type of add is a Mistress of Pain, and one will spawn from a portal. The add tank needs to pick this up immediately, and the non-interrupter DPS needs to burn them down. They have a high damage attack that pierces armor, and a spinning pain spike where the Mistress of Pain randomly targets a player in the raid and hits them for about 50% of their health. The second type of adds are Infernals, and they are spawned from the volcanoes. Each volcano will spawn about 3 to 4 Infernals, and they must be picked up by the add tank. The add tank picks up the Infernals and tries to keep it away from others, so the Infernal AoE doesn't hit any other players. We also move Jaraxxus to keep them away from the melee. The range stay on the Infernal and the melee stand on Jaraxxus. The Infernals will also randomly target a player in the raid and attack them for about 6,000 damage, then go back to the add tank. Overall, the Jaraxxus encounter requires a bit of execution. Make sure that the adds are picked up and taken down as soon as possible, keep Legion Flames under control, and keep interrupting Fell Fireball. Also, make sure that Incinerate Flames is healed up as soon as possible. Good interrupts in Jaraxxus is a huge plus, as it will greatly reduce the burst damage on the tank throughout the encounter. Thanks for watching this movie. As always, feel free to ask questions or add suggestions either on YouTube or on the strategy thread on TankSpot.com. Also, TankSpot donors can download all of these movies in high definition directly from our servers. Click the second link in the movie information box to learn more.